We all know that powerful advertisements evoke powerful emotions. They're designed to entertain us, surprise us, make us cry. And advertisers really evoke emotions to create ads that engage us, help us remember the product, build positive associations with the brand, and ultimately drive product sales. But marketers and advertisers have really struggled to measure emotion in a scientifically accurate, valid, and scalable way. Some of the approaches we're seeing include enhancing emotional questions with pictures or icons, very scalable approach, but it's still a very cognitive approach to measuring emotions. It's just really a survey question in the end. On the other hand, we're seeing some approaches that leverage the brain sciences and neuromarketing, but these solutions haven't yet reached the operational scale and price point that makes it applicable to advertising on a day-to-day basis. And so Graham and I are here today to share our story of how we literally changed the face of advertising research by combining facial coding and surveys.
So I think we are at a real change point in the industry because for the first time we're now beginning to see the mass adoption of some methods from cognitive science as part of advertising pre-testing. But not necessarily the direct brain measurement methods, but the more scalable tools that Rana talked about, such as automated facial coding to infer people's emotional state from their facial expressions, and also the reaction time measurement techniques from cognitive science that allow us to understand which ideas advertising may leave behind on an intuitive level rather than on a process level. And those are now being used alongside survey tools to give us the holistic measurement of emotion that we all need. So we're still using surveys to measure people's overall response to advertising, the output of lots of different mental processes, but we're then using automated facial coding to understand the journey that people took to get there, their in-the-moment responses to ads, and using reaction time measures to understand the ideas that the ads are likely to leave behind without effort, and so not suffer from the kind of overthinking that we sometimes see in conventional qual or survey-based research.
So the integration of Affectiva's automated facial coding technology with Millward Brown's linked survey metrics was a lot of hard work. It took a lot of hard work to standardize on this, but it's been immensely successful. So in our year one of operations, we combined tested 400 ads together. In year two, we tested 3,000 ads, and Unilever were one of the first global clients to adopt facial coding across all of their pre-testing. And going into this year, Millward Brown have standardized on facial coding with all of its clients globally. So that's been, a great milestone for us. And so far, we've booked about 1,500 ads, and this is still March, so that's pretty exciting. In total, we've tested over 6,000 ads in over 60 countries for 500 plus brands, and we've amassed over 1.2 million facial videos and facial emotion responses, about 1 billion emotion data points that really gives us a unique insight into how viewers engage emotionally with content. That's allowed us to build a normative database that we can cut down by demographics, by product category, by culture. So it's been a really exciting process for us. And I really think it's the first time in the industry that we've been able to see emotion and intuitive responses really become mainstream.
So let me just give you a sense of the kind of insights that the progressive clients that are using these methods are now getting. This is a very quick case study from our Kellogg's client in Europe. And we researched 3 ads in the same campaign for Crunchy Nut Cornflakes. There was a second ad that was researched that had a very similar theme. It had 2 guys in a kind of Jurassic Park setting hiding from 2 raptors, and of course until one of them succumbs to the allure of Crunchy Nut Cornflakes. So what did this new kind of integrated approach to pre-testing tell us? Well, let's take a first look at the facial coding results. Here, these tracers show you the smile responses among viewers when they first watched the ad for all 3 ads. So the higher the line goes, the more people smiled. And at first glance, you might say, well, okay, the snake spot and the dinosaur spot are better than the alien spot because they evoke more smiles at the key moments. However, when we talked to people about the ads as well, we found a slightly different positioning. Overall, people said they enjoyed the alien spot more and the dinosaur and snake ads slightly less. And when we looked at the intuitive associations, so the key ideas that the ads would implicitly leave behind, we found, again, alien did better on some key strategic issues like delicious and enjoyable, and the snake spot in particular was less intuitively associated with fun. So what's going on? Well, going back to the facial coding results, we see some insightful stuff. Here we're now looking not at smiles, but at people's disgust responses, so their tendency to kind of go ooh when they watch the ad. And you can see that dinosaur and snake in particular both were evoking far more disgust responses as well as smiles, whereas the alien spot didn't evoke those kind of disgust faces. So what we're seeing here is the edgier creative of snake in particular makes people smile, but also puts some people off, and alien didn't have that. And that was particularly noticeable if we then looked at how people's responses to the spots changed with repeat viewing. So here we're looking at a key user group, lapsed users who were a key target for this spot, and we're looking at how their smiles changed from first to second view of the spot. And you can see that the snake ad in particular, when people saw it again, they didn't smile anything like as much. That kind of edgy humor kind of wore off fairly quickly, whereas the alien spot, in contrast, people smiled more at with repeat viewing. So as a consequence, the client in this case did a couple of things. One, they moved the media plan around a little and upweighted the alien spot more than it would have received in the original plan. All the ads aired because they're all great, but there was a bigger media weight put behind alien. And in practice, when we came to looking at in-market results, the alien spot was the one that performed the best. And the client also got some great learning here about what style of version of this campaign works best for this particular audience. So there's real insights to be gained from this integrated approach.
So we also used facial coding beyond diagnostic to add predictive power to existing methods, where we looked at sales results using an econometric model of sales and in-market effectiveness, and we're able to show that we can add or complement existing methods, pretty much like what the ARF and HORT's Neurostandards effort showed.
So I think what we're seeing here is a case study, if you like, in a trend in our industry. If you like, the first example of how the industry is likely to evolve. Our industry is not going to be about looking at surveys or qualitative alone. It will be about integrating multiple data sources, be they biometric, intuitive, survey, or qual. And the real power, I think, will come from clarity, as you heard Lee talk about before, how we can weave those things together to tell a compelling story.
So the future is really exciting in advertising and beyond. Imagine a world where there's emotion-enabled interactions and experiences. If you want to give it a try yourself, come visit our booth and take a sneak peek at our newly launched Qual product and our mobile demo. Thank you.